Before I begin my video, I just want to mention to the people watching, I have nothing but sympathy and empathy in my heart for the families of the victims who died in the Twin Towers on September 11th. I still have nothing but empathy and sympathy for them because some will never find that closure. Some will never be able to move on. And I understand that perfectly. Their loved ones were killed tragically. They were murdered for some religious ideology. And there are some who don't forget what happened to their loved ones, but they want to try to move on with their lives. They've been trying for 14 years already. Some of them have really moved on. Some of them never forgot. Some of them not only never forgot, but some of them never want to look at these graphics again. And this is how they cope. This is how they move on in life, by never looking at the graphics of the towers falling. And there are, like I said, there are people that are trying to move on within the group of people that want to move on, that do want to remember what happened, how their loved ones died, and that's how they're able to understand how tragic this event was to this country. And if that's the way they cope, fine. I don't understand it, but if that's the way that they cope, fine. However, this is not about the victims' families. But I will ask this: Can the families of the victims get one goddamn day where they don't have to see this shit? Where they don't have to see on MSNBC the Today Show from 2001? Can they get that one day where they don't have to look at the graphics? Where all these gullible, ignorant Americans in our own country have to keep posting pictures of the towers falling? And can you religious morons like Joshua Feuerstein, can you please stop using religion on September 11th to shove down people's throats so people could convert to Christianity? Can you please stop with all this BS? Because of you, because of all your cronies and your religious nutbags, the problem with you guys is that you're preventing the people that want to move on from what happened to their loved ones. You're preventing them from moving on. You're not helping them.
What you gotta do?
You're not helping them move on. You're preventing them from moving on. With that being said, I'm going to show you Josh Feuerstein's latest video from September 11th of this year, and pay close attention. Pay really close attention how he uses this sad music and tries to sound like he's sympathetic towards the people who lost their loved ones on September 11th. And watch how he's using his religion to drag people into be converted into Christians. It's disgusting, it's deplorable, and Joshua Feuerstein is a horrible human being for even doing this video.
Hey, watch it. So today, on the anniversary of 9/11, we say, never forget. But I'm afraid that we have already forgotten. You see, I remember on that dreadful day watching those towers fall and the mighty fortress of America being brought to its knees. I remember people in the middle of the street crying and calling out to God. I remember the altars of the churches being flooded all across America. I remember America asking God's hand to lead, to guide, to heal, and to protect. I remember the Senate standing and quoting the 23rd Psalm, "The Lord is our shepherd." And a shepherd does exactly that. He leads, he guides, he heals, and he protects.
Stop, stupid!
But I'm afraid that somewhere along the way we have forgotten. Because once again we begin pulling God out of public school and policy. We elected a president who pretended to be a Christian, but now openly defies the laws of God. We have changed into a society who thinks that God's hand is too, restrictive, controlling. So now, Supreme Court gives us gay marriage, the atrocity of abortion. The list goes on and on and on as we spit in the face of God. The same God we asked to heal us and to protect us and to guide us. You see, the difference between a sheep and a goat is this. The goat refuses to submit to a shepherd. He wants to do his own thing and do it his own way. Is that what America has become? Because the Bible says that in the end of time, God on the day of judgment is going to separate the sheep from the goat. I challenge America today to not forget, to remember what that day was like, and let us hit our knees again like lambs and cry out for a shepherd. Because the beautiful thing about a shepherd is that he's always listening to the voice of his sheep. God bless. Have a beautiful day. Please, if you agree with me, will you take a moment and click share on this video, because American needs to hear this clarion call this very hour, and it is totally dependent upon you.
Okay, let's stop this schmuck. Feuerstein, after 9/11, let me tell you something. I was not taught the Holy Bible in school. Not once. I got back to English. I got back to history. I got back to math. I got back to science. Hell, I even found funny books in the library that I still love to this day, and they're children's books. The thing is, though, Feuerstein, look, pay attention, dumbass. Pay attention. God was.
What you gotta do with the
Stop! Get out! 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 Sorry for the interruption, but anyway. Anyway. Once again, I apologize for the interruption, but anyway. Listen, dumbass. God was not put in school after 9/11. In public schools, still after 9/11, God was not put in there at all. There was no biblical classes. There were no after-study faith classes. You know why there wasn't any of that put in? Because by law, that is illegal to put religion in public schools. There is religious schools, strictly, but you have to pay to put your child through them. You have to pay. It isn't free. Public free education is free. And look, Feuerstein, look, you're not completely wrong. You're not completely wrong. People did turn to religion after 9/11, but did they go to religion as for a comfort thing? No, they went to religion as a fear tactic, because that's what America does best, is to scare the shit out of its own people to do something that they don't want to do. And the majority of people did not want a religion after 9/11. You know what they wanted to do? They wanted this country to heal. They wanted this country to heal without religion. But no, people were forced to go to churches because they were told by their friends and family, if you don't go to church because of what happened on September 11th, you're an un-American. You don't agree with America's policies. You know what? All that stupid crap should really end still 14 years later. Because you know why? Because people have to understand that with religion or no religion, God or no God, this event wasn't necessarily unpredictable, but we didn't see it coming as quickly as it did. And the other thing, Feuerstein, that you have to understand is the fact that once again, you're using religion, not in a good way, but in a bad way. You're using it in such a dogmatic way. They are telling people, if you don't act like 9/11 is going to happen again, God's not going to save you. You know what? Do I agree with everything Pope Francis says? No. Not everything, but you know what? For the most part, Pope Francis is a true Christian. Well, Feuerstein, you're one of the most fake Christians in the world. I mean, Pope Francis even says, I can't imagine a Christian who doesn't smile. Feuerstein, you don't smile. You don't smile whatsoever. You're not a happy person. You know what you are? You're a sad, miserable little man who needs constant attention. Who needs constant attention, and who needs to spread religion, and who needs to make this like fake fear-mongering and war-mongering BS that 9/11 is going to happen again. We took those measures to make sure this shit won't happen again. This is why people like Joshua Feuerstein annoy the hell out of me. Because they have to bring up the graphics, they have to bring up everything, and it makes it harder for the victim, the family of the victims that want to move on. And it makes it worse for those who can't move on. Because it opens the wounds every year for no reason. Pete Davidson, who's a part of Saturday Night Live. Now, he lost his father in 9/11. His father was a fireman who ran into the building, and the building collapsed on his father's body. Now, do I personally find Pete Davidson funny? No, I don't find him funny at all. But I do, like I said, I do have sympathy for him because he did lose his father when he was a kid. And no boy should grow up without a father. No boy should grow up without some type of father figure. And like I said, this isn't about the families of the victims. This is about people like Josh Feuerstein who have to bring up religion every year on September 11th because they have to bring up the graphics. They have to bring up the horrible memories of what happened so they could get their religion to be the majority again. Well, Josh, your whole religious area is still 70% of this country. By 2020, my side of the argument, agnostic and atheists, and other religions are going to trample your Christianity. Atheism is going to be 20% by 2020. It's already 16%. Your side is going to decrease and decrease and decrease and decrease. You're going to become the minority. And that's what scares the living shit out of you, doesn't it, Feuerstein? Is the fact that your religion is going to become the minority. It's going to become the religion that nobody wants to be a part of whatsoever. As far as I'm concerned, you know what? I'm not a religious person. Believe me, I'm not. But if I were a religious person, I'd rather be a Buddhist over a Christian any day. Because at least Buddhism preaches the words of Jesus of Nazareth, love thy neighbor. Not to question thy neighbor, not to stone thy neighbor, but to love thy neighbor. That's what Buddhism does. While your religion, Feuerstein, makes Jesus of Nazareth, you know what, seem like a likable guy, but then changes him into a martyr. Because that's the cool thing. A martyr? You really need a martyr of a religion? How can you just have a person of your faith? Can you just have a person of your faith that just preaches, you know, the words of Jesus of Nazareth only? Oh yeah, you do. His name is Pope Francis. But idiots like you, Feuerstein, can't understand the fact that Pope Francis uses religion in a non-dogmatic way, but you have to use religion in a dogmatic way. I'm Michael DePrima, and you know what, Feuerstein? Screw you.